seconds remaining.
Literally morphling every single game, and
5 seconds remaining.
we've seen him mid, we've seen him safe lane, we're seeing him everywhere. So it's just what we've been seeing against these morphlings hasn't exactly been too impressive, because I believe personally when we've been seeing teams up against the morphling, they've been given way too much farm, way too much space, way too much time, and ultimately way too much farm. And I really think that has become a problem when going up against these morphlings, although they were able to counter it in the second game of the series for Vici.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
OD band, Ember band. TA also amid that's out of this draft. But we'll see if morphling is mid or morphling is safe lane. So they still could just go with a safe laner. I was going to say Lifestealer, but that's banned out by IG. Gyro could go mid as well. We have seen it. So it wouldn't be too shocking to have that be a potential mid play there.
Dire team pick.
And they go Invoker, so maybe we're seeing another Invoker player. And Zeus Sphere from IG.
Heroes.
So one Pumaman will be your Invoker. Emo will be on this Zeus, leaving GGG on the Gyro safe lane. No surprises, really, with the lineup there from IG. Overall, it's a lineup that I think we've seen them play throughout this group stage already. Again, IG, yes, they can be in first place after this series, but this is their last series of the group stage. It'll put them a point above Vici and eHome, but it would also require them to drop a game in, or one of them to drop a game in their next series to have a chance. So, I think either way at the moment, it looks as though we're looking at tiebreakers. Unless something were to go horribly awry. Because I think there's no way we don't end up with tiebreakers. Unless IG 2-0 here, and one of the teams of eHome and Vici get 0-2'd, and then one of those teams also 2-0s, because then that would put one team at 6, one team at 5, one team at 4, with no tiebreakers needed. But if IG take both games, either eHome or Vici take one of their games, if not two, then we're either a tie for 5 or a tie for 6.
30 seconds to go.
EMP comes out. As GGG trying to get a kill here. Kaka on the run. Stun hits onto the Invoker. Right click will get the first blood here for LFS. Now they look over at Ollie. They've got 4 heroes. Emo trying to defend. Could be a second kill. The right click's coming in. One more will do it. Well, actually, with the regen from the Tango, it isn't one more will do it. The fissure was what finishes him off. And then on top of that, they're also going to get 2 bounty runes over top. So LFS doing a really good job here pre-bounty rune. So 2-0 early on for LFS. Sure, I change the overlay. Don't want that to mess with us. Fissure comes out on 2, but they've got the homing missile. They're doing a lot of damage here onto the Earthshaker, chasing him. No Orb of Venom for the Ogre, but not going to matter. It forces out the early salve, and down to 2 Tangos is this Earthshaker. So already in some early trouble is GGG taking right clicks from the Mirana, but not much. Not much else overall. For the most part, these lanes are pretty quiet after the bounty for now. But CS-wise, I think for IG overall has looked quite nice, and you're trying to sap away that mana from Emo. Make sure that Zeus is not nearly as strong coming into the later parts of this laning phase. Not gonna matter with Emo having that Mango and able to refresh that mana a little bit and continue to do damage on this Invoker, and maybe we see a little bit of a difference between skill levels with these teams. Early goings, Emo is okay over mid. Centaur over in the off lane. You've got JT 14-6 doing a good job up against this Morphling. Now they've got the stun to follow it up, as well as the Hex. A lot of damage coming out. JT with the double edge to kill off the Morph. Woo! Not exactly sure if the Morphling was expecting that kind of early damage. And he will come back, but definitely need to prepare for something like that happening again. So, at least for right now, IG happy to get that kill on the Morphling and continuing to control these lanes, and especially with JT farming so well. We've seen him be very aggressive at times, and we've seen him a bunch with this Centaur. Invoker, one shot. Emo leaving him alive, doesn't have the mana to throw anything his way, and the right clicks wouldn't mean much.
Radiant structures
As the regen here for Invoker, though, at 18.8, thanks to the Quas. Also get a mango, and meanwhile, top GGG. Did they land an arrow on that? I mean, they must have to get that kill onto the gyrocopter, who was there by himself. Ollie not present, and it's 3-1 in the favor of LFS. So Gyro will come back. He's actually farming out of the 3 cores, not, you know, the least best.
Money changes.
The prize is mine.
And 5 minutes in, again, they might lose this Elder Titan. Look for the sweep and they'll grab it. But that is really close. And the courier, hello? Might get it on the way back. They need to really control this thing. I thought for a second they weren't going to even protect that courier. The Elder Titan's still sitting here just about dead. Only taking a lot of damage in the lane opposite of this bottom one. And trying to deny with neutrals, but Emo will just take the kill with the Thunder God's Wrath. Stun. Out on the Mirana, but another kill here on his GGG. Ollie might even be next to the kill, and the arrow. Felt the air on that one. Juan almost getting the kill, or getting the arrow at least on Ollie. I'm not sure they'd be able to follow up with the fissure in the way. That is the second time they've been able to kill this gyrocopter. So putting them in a bit of a bad spot there with GGG over top. At least for them, bottom and mid are still continually doing well. We'll take a hint of damage. But unlike that earlier part of the game with the Retaliate giving the damage to kill him the first time, he's been relatively safe. But JT at the same time just continuing to farm up. He's happy here. There's an early 500 net worth lead over anybody else in the game. Continually getting hit with that double edge. Stun comes out. They're taking away the mana, and again, the double edge being thrown at the Morphling, who will morph into the Agi, but has a strength max 1400 health right now. Invoker, meanwhile, over mid. He's even in terms of levels. Give me a second. I'm going to open my window. So,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, the Invoker has kept it close with the Zeus, who I thought was going to have a better time. Echo Slam laid out, and that does a lot of damage to GGG and Ollie. They don't land the arrow, so it'll allow at least the Gyro to leave. If he chose to do so, he turns around. I don't know about that, because here comes the Invoker to get the kill into Ollie, and now Gyro needs to leave.
Radiant are
Not exactly sure why you turn around on that. Very risky maneuver overall. You lose that gyro a third time, and all of a sudden, you know, you've been officially shut down. Throwing a stun there, but you know, a little harassment trying to go a long way, at least from the Ogre Magi. But you know, it's just trying to open up the lane for GGG, and he has continued to struggle, and you see the difference in net worths between 4 heroes on the Radiant side. It's been going really well right now for Look for Smile. We've seen this before with the quick starts that they have. You know, they can really make a team question the early game that they've brought to the table, and if a Look for Smile can capitalize, it would definitely make this game for IG much harder. Go for the bounty rune. There's the stun. Tornado, EMP onto 3. Out of mana is everybody. They'll bring over the Earthshaker. They'll look for the sleep. They've also got the Elder Titan. They'll go for the Gyro after taking out the Lion and will get themselves a double kill on one Pumaman.
The prize is mine.
So quick, grab the bounty runes, as well as the fact that they were able to grab yet another kill, and it might turn into another Emo in trouble trying to run. They have the vision ready to go get this Zeus, and like I said, early pressure from Look for Smile, one of the only teams that really heavily presses their early advantage, and well, they are happy to have this 8-2 lead, 2,000 net worth lead, where it looked as though maybe mid and off lane for IG were going relatively well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ollie going down in the Morphling.
Dire's
Another
top
kill
tower
there
is
for
falling.
LFS. Early
Radiant's
ags
bottom
for this
tower is
Morphling.
under attack.
Something we saw in a previous Morphling game just a couple ago.
For the hunt. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's
Efficiency
structures
in
are
which
fortified.
this Mirana is farming.
Dire's top tower is under
The
attack.
efficiency in which they're moving. They're going for a tier 2 pretty quickly with no hesitation.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
KT coming over. No Blink Dagger, though. They'll find the Mirana. They'll get a kill, but again, allowing the rest of the team to get out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tornado thrown, but nothing much more than that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Move the Zeus over back towards base, and again, just trying to buy as much time as they can for the morph. The early game has gone so well for them that they're happy with where things sit. Meanwhile, bottom, they've used the Moonlight Shadow. They'll rotate over. They'll use the ulti from the Zeus. And Ogre might be the one in trouble. He actually gets away the other direction. The arrow lands. And they will get that one. But they let the other two go. And that's the Gyro I think they could have potentially killed if they had just focused him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It was the Thunder God's Wrath that, tipped them off on IG of the rotation for LFS. So that might have been why they just went for the Ogre instead. Anytime you've got that ult up and you feel uncomfortable as though
Radiant are scanning.
somebody's coming your way or too many heroes on the opposite team are off the map, just Thunder God's Wrath catch some vision.
Dire are scanning.
Scan comes out, catches nothing on the Radiant under the tower. Ags on this Earthshaker. I believe he is the core over the Mirana, despite the Mirana having the bottle and then going into the Spirit Vessel. I think it just happens to be that they've both accumulated some chunk of farm. Drone's finished for the gyro, but again, you know, you need this Ags, you need more items, and we'll see if Look for Smile are gonna allow you to have that time. Are now putting some pressure on your mid-tier 1. $3,000 net worth lead. Look for Smile. Again, there it is. There's the Thunder God's Wrath. You feel as though that they're off the map, which they are with the Moonlight Shadow. Thunder God's Wrath, and there it is. Morphling looking for that Ags, just 1,000 gold away. Morphling has been giving a lot of space. Bottom though, Invoker coming over with the help of this Mirana and Earthshaker to get the kill. They'll go for the Ags on 1, 2, 3 heroes. With how important Ags is, I wonder if support Alk will ever come back. Or not how important it is, but how common the pickups are these days. Smoke coming out. Try to go for this Earthshaker. Call down used, but they do have the Blink Dagger. They just don't close the gap on the Earthshaker to stop that TP out. So the movements from Look for Smile have been, you know, basically perfect. You do try to wonder at what point IG will really play the aggressor. I know they went in with that smoke, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
nowhere near
Dire's
enough.
structures are fortified.
And LFS playing it,
Radiant are scanning.
playing their movements really well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Potential bait here from the Earthshaker. Blink Close Stomp lands on 2. They've got the Tornado as well as the EMP, the follow-up stun coming up with the line, as well as the Finger. Thunder God's Wrath comes through, and they're no longer able to get the Echo Slam off. And they lose 3. IG all of a sudden clean up really well, and I believe LFS knew that they were, you know, knew that they were coming, but the positioning there just not good enough. Not only stay alive, but to turn that fight around.
I wondered if this might
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Really interesting decision from LFS. Body blocks from the Lion, who also has that Blink Dagger. Drop down the Sentry. They've got the missile hitting. Call down and the kill.
When you get to hell, tell them I sent you.
There will at least be one here for the side of LFS, but almost feels like it might be a little too late.
An easy shot.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Can LFS do anything? It looks like they are grouping up for a potential smoke, yeah. Now let's see if they find anybody with this. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Thunder God's Wrath come out in just a second. Feeling the pressure of them off the map.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't find anything with that smoke play.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Sometimes it definitely
Dire's
feels
middle
as though
tower has fallen.
the Earthshaker a little not, you know,
The prize is mine.
a little reserved on going in on that, where it could have been had he had a blink into an Echo Slam, a little bit blind. Again, the pacing in this game, what we see a lot in these Chinese games is, ooh, Stampede comes out as well as the Thunder God's Wrath. Kaka, who ended up being the first death. The sun is out now. Totem coming over to try and stop the Centaur in his tracks. They've got Adaptive Strike. Bloodlust placed down. Again, the Totem comes in. The stun from Ollie. As well as the Earth Splitter, but that's not going to land on anybody, and they'll back off.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It feels like from what we've been seeing, there comes just about a low point in every single Chinese game. I'm not certain if this is happening in other regions or not, but around the 17-minute mark,
Allies disappear.
things go pretty quiet from both sides. They're just really willing to farm up and get their next item.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
So scans coming out, and I believe Radiant's hit on the Dire. IG not finding anything, at least for now, with this
Radiant's
aggressive
middle
smoke.
tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And there it is. You get the feeling that LFS are just too far off the map. You will throw that Thunder God's Wrath again and again and again. But this is giving more and more time to farm. Emo, who struggled in the beginning, on this Zeus, getting closer to that Ags. JT, who's had a good game, you know, from start to finish. He's going into a BKB. He's got 4-staff pipe and blink dagger finished off. There's definitely an opportunity here. At least in my eyes, for LFS to make a play. But all they've got is the Ags on the Morphling. He wants that BKB, so are they waiting on just that item? As well as Invoker to finish off his Ags. Enemy missile coming in here on SGR. Will hit despite the help from Zhuan.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
This is going to be a smoke play, for sure. Ah! They catch it with the Thunder God's Wrath immediately. They knew they were grouping up. Really well done there again. And it's not that it's like crazy hard to predict, but always trying to make sure that you could catch it as early as possible. And I'm not certain it'll matter too much. I mean, they've got the Earthshaker with the totem, and that means they've got 2 Earthshakers that can jump around. With the Ags picked up by the Morphling. So I guess that's why you pick up the Ags here. At least on the Earthshaker, it means you have 2 jumps possible. And again, they'll finally go for this tier 2 tower. It's been so long since they've been back here, but it's a quick little tower take.
Has fallen.
Let me see just how much pressure they can put on. But as they do so, they just kind of back off. And well, meanwhile, they've got the Hex, the stun, and more than enough damage to get the kill there onto the Marauders. Wonder if LFS can even retaliate. Sure want to, but they might as well just take the tier 2 mid. Actually, don't even end up getting that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And it's just the lack of willingness
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
to try and force an issue. They had the tier 2 and maybe could have forced mobility or movements towards the mid tier 2. Instead, they took a shot and they immediately back off. But they don't commit too heavily to it. Blast onto that Centaur, and well, nothing more to show for it. He's the tankiest one there. They don't want to just jump on the Centaur because they need to, or feel the need to jump on somebody. Thunder God's Wrath is used, and right there is the Ogre, but they back off again. Sunstrike nowhere near anybody. They continue to stay grouped up as Zeus will call you out with Thunder God's Wrath every single time.
An easy shot.
I mean, neither team has really made the overly aggressive move and
Let thy heels
committed
bottom tower is
into
under attack.
a potential fight. As it's pretty much gone quiet. And destroyed a sentry. When was the last kill he got here?
Dire are
This
scanning.
kill here. Marana died. It's been pretty slow otherwise. Only 14-8.
An easy shot.
But IG wrapping all the way around LFS. They might be able to find a couple. Blink and a Hoofstop will land on 2. So now the finger comes in. They've got the call down. The damage coming out onto the Morphling to get the kill. They look over at the Elder Titan and they will get a second. Quick 1-2 punch there, and that takes out the Morphling, and a lead now for IG. now into that first Roche as well. They don't end up finishing it out in time and look to potentially close the gap there on the Earthshaker, Invoker, and Mirana. But might want to just step back towards Roche.
Money changes hands.
I could do with more of that. A fitting bounty.
IG continuing to extend their lead. Now up 2,000 net worth. They're starting to take control of the map. LFS a little bit more scared after losing a couple of heroes a moment ago. So they've got the homing missile. Let's see what they can get out of this. It's at least the Elder Titan. Fissure comes in. Wolfwing trying to move forward, as is the Earthshaker, but both missed their opportunity.
Radiant's middle
Centaur
tower
gives some
is
follow-up
under
chase,
attack.
but doesn't turn into any kills.
Here's the good ammo.
Sunstrike. They smoked, thinking maybe someone would come over from LFS, but they just won't commit. Won't commit to this Roche attempt just yet. Now the Blink Dagger's there for the Earthshaker. Wrapping around, looking for the hoof stomp. One leap. They've got the homing missile coming in. How long are you able to stay invis with that Glimmer Cape? Not long enough. And now another kill, another pick off, and into Roche they should go.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Hex, Thunder God's Wrath, Finger coming out. Morphling in trouble. They get another kill here. They look over at this Elder Titan. BKB's going to be popped. And make that a third. Mirana and the Elder Titan buy back. Elder Titan going to commit to that TP? Yeah, okay. Not sure that was the right play to TP like that. Oh, they find the Mirana. Just bought back too. Dead for 70 seconds. Earthshaker might be next. Forced to pop that BKB and totem out. But look at the advantage that all of a sudden IG have after a couple of string together kills.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright. Holly just dying to Roche there. Poor staff. Ooh, Echo Slam coming in. Elder Titan will have the Earth Splitter. JT gets the kill, and the Invoker. The BKB is going to be popped. They've got the Hex out onto the Elder Titan. Morphling coming in to try and help out his Earthshaker, but there's the homing missile with the call down. They'll get the kill, and Morphling needs to now be careful. BKB will be popped. Emo coming over and re-engaging to get the kill onto the Ogre, who did buy back. Will totem away, but they've got the Blink and the Force Staff to get the Hex. The stun is through, and Morphling dead again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Finally, they'll have the opportunity to finish Roche.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen to the Dire. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
IG setting up pretty here as they leave the top three in the net worth. They'll take this tier 2 tower.
Radiant's top
And,
tower has
well,
fallen.
that was the last outer tower that remains. Now they look over the Invoker again. They've got yet another kill on him. Dead for 65 seconds once more. They just can't stay alive on this LFS team. mean, IG
I like a good ball.
doing everything right to bring this game back, and I know we open up the space for the gyro, but take out these heroes and really continually shut them down. Might be able to finish the game right here if they find a couple of kills. And you've got buyback on the Morph as well as the Invoker, but if there's nothing you can do about these heroes on IG, then that just serves to be an issue. Especially if you can't kill them twice.
Bounty.
With the Satanic, it almost feels like you have to kill him 3 times. He gets low, he pops Satanic, stays up towards top health, dies, Aegis pops, then he has to die once more. So there they go to try and move forward. The leaps away are worth it to get escape alive. Still looking to
Radiant's top
give
tower
chase
is under
here.
attack.
Keep the pressure on. 17,000 net worth ahead. Just looking for an opening to go on this Radiant side. They've taken every tower. They've got a hard hitter. No reason not to try and make the move. There's the blink with the stun. Got the Nimbus down, but he'll turn into the Earthshaker and escape. And Gyro pop the BKB. Rocket Barrage comes out, forces them back. Now going for the tier 3 tower.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire structures are fortified.
So continuing to just keep the pressure on and making sure that LFS don't find much of anything.
Shadows, take us.
They'll pop the Aeon Disc. If we're trying to make something happen here, they'll get the kill on Akaka. Gyro nearby, Tornado. That's gonna land. Now can they close the gap? They've got the Fissure, but actually blocks him out more than it keeps him close, and Earthshaker might die for this. Popped, and they kill the Morphling and the Earthshaker. But we're trying to do something. They've got a 3-man sweep. They'll TP out one. They'll pop the Aegis. Meanwhile, Centaur runs down this Elder Titan.
Radiant's
Gets himself
middle
a triple
tower is
kill.
under attack. Radiant's middle barracks are
Get
under
that
attack.
tier 3. Work on the racks. Invoker throws a Tornado over. You're out. EMP. BKB's going to be popped. Warfling stunned. He just fought back. Oh boy! Ooh, and he's dead again. That might just be the game. Dead for 100 seconds.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's top
All right, for
tower
the top
is under
tier
attack.
3, they actually blink hook stomp in. Looking at the Earthshaker, but the sweep comes out. They'll have the arrow to follow it up. Cataclysm too. Still trying to take out the Centaur and will lock him down and get the kill. Wonder if he'll buy back. The damage from GGG is pretty heavy. Elder Titan almost died. The BKB's popped by the Invoker. Oh, arrow hitting again. They need some sort of help here. 4-staff forward. They've got the sweep, but he's still alive. Thunder God's Wrath. They get the kill on the Earthshaker. He's dead for 100. And they're still moving forward. They finally end up getting the kill there onto the Gyro, but they lose the Invoker. Triple kill for Emo. Just the Mirana and the Invoker are alive. and GG is called. IG will take game 1, in fact.
I could do with more of that.
Dire victory.
So 27-18, IG took over from about the 25-minute mark. Shut down anything LFS was getting, as it looked like they had a bit of a lead, but I mean, overall, very good job there for IG. 11-1 and 11 for JT. He's been a stud with this team, and I'll give IG the victory, as they will try to play LFS and beat them once again coming up in game 2. So we'll be back with that in just a moment. I'm your caster B-Cop. I know it was a little bit slow. It got pretty slow paced through the mid game, but we'll see if any of that changes coming up in about 5 more minutes. But we'll see. LFS trying to stop IG from going 2 on this one. We'll be back in just a moment. I'm your caster B-Cop at BCop92 on Twitter. Follow me to know when I'm casting. Stay right there.